Hey everybody, it's Sir Mr. Clean and we're back with another video. This time it's going to be more of a games I've been playing lately and what I think about them. I'm going to try to keep it fairly short, but man, the first 2 months of this year, I think I've spent over $200 in, I think I figured out it was like $225 in new games. But anyway, let's get started. I wanted to go over a few games. I'm going to start with Skull and Bones. So I played the free trial of Skull and Bones, so it was about 8 hours. And overall, like I never played Assassin's Creed Black Flag, so I didn't come into this with any expectations of, ship battles, like, boarding ships and stuff like that. I didn't come in with those expectations. I heard about them throughout the gamerverse. But overall, like the game was very fun. I played, like I said, 8 hours of it. I got to I think I got to level 5 or something. Unlocked a couple different ships. Played a bunch of different missions. Did some crafting, gathering. I did have kind of one boss fight where I guess there was a timer. I didn't realize there was a timer, and the boss fled, and so I didn't actually beat the boss. I didn't play any multiplayer. Obviously, I saw other ships in the game because it is an always online type game. The story, I really didn't get what the story was going for yet. I was only a few major quest beats into the story. I was trying to explore as much as I could of the map in the time that I had. But overall, like the game was fine. The ship battles were fun. It felt a lot like World of Warships, but on pirate ships. A little bit simpler to use than that, I thought. Which was nice. There was a couple gripes that I had, obviously. Price point, I do not think it is a whatever Ubisoft said, it was like a quadruple A game. I don't know. They're just inviting criticism by saying that. I think that was kind of a ridiculous thing to say. The game looks fine. It looks great. Like the characters are pretty mediocre, like the character animations and the characters. The running and walking was awful. Like I felt like I'd be walking and then I'd stop and I'd still walk a little bit. It was just very hard, very loose. It felt floaty. But the ship stuff was really good. I thought the ship controls, the ship combat was really good. Yeah, I don't know where they get off saying that it's a quadruple A game nor charging a full $70 for it. I think they missed the mark there for sure. I didn't really get into cosmetics much. I didn't put any money into the game. Just wanted to try it out and see what it was like. I was interested to see what was happening with like season 1. There's a lot of people online that are playing it and enjoying it. I'm not going to put $70 into it to play it. If I might take it when it's on deep discount later and try it out. Maybe when there's some more features added to it or something. But right now it just feels like not worth the money type game. But that's all I'm going to say about Skull and Bones. Next game that I gave a little bit of a fair shot of was Last Epoch. I did go ahead and buy it. It was $35. Felt completely reasonable. Graphically, it's very beautiful. I think games like Diablo 4 and Path of Exile, at least Diablo 4, might have a slight better graphics, but a feeling of more polish. But Last Epoch is a smaller dev team, and it's been in early access for how long? Like 4 years or 4 or 5 years. But I'm glad to see that they came out of it. I went ahead and purchased it, and I've played for probably like 5 hours. Super fun so far. I really like it. The time travel stuff. Time travel is always tricky in games and in movies. I think time travel just in general is difficult. So I don't have my head completely wrapped around the story of Last Epoch yet. It hasn't really hooked me. I don't really care about it that much right now. I've been more interested in some of the very specific mechanics. So the fact that when you unlock skills, each skill can be upgraded in different ways. I thought that was really cool. I like that idea. I like that it feels like I can customize my character a little bit more. It doesn't feel like it's pretty much just there's like one way to go and that's the only way to go. Diablo 4 did better than Diablo 3 as far as customization goes, and then Path of Exile went like crazy. Like I tried playing that for a good dozen hours, and man, I was getting lost in the whole, you got to get certain things that have you know, there's like a hexagon or something, and each side can be connected to another thing, and you got to like roll for the right sides to be connected. It just seemed like there's a ton of that, and makes it harder to kind of grasp like what's the best build. You're always kind of chasing that very specific thing, and it seems like you waste a lot if you don't start with a build in mind. I don't know how Endgame's going to unfold with Last Epoch, but it feels like it's a little bit, it's like in between Diablo and Path of Exile as far as complexity and what you can do, and maybe how detrimental your choices are early on. It seems like you can respec for cheap or for free. I'm not sure if it's free, but it doesn't seem like it's a huge deal, so that's nice. Having fun with it. I'm planning to get back to it. So yeah, that's a good start to a game for sure. I also played some Palworld, which totally took me by surprise. That one, I did not pay for. I played it on Game Pass, on my Xbox, and then I had a copy gifted to me on Steam, so I have it on both. So I can play like on a big server with friends, and I can also play just by myself. I have a solo game and a friend's game going. Very fun, very fun. I had just said this year that I was going to play through each one generation of each of the 9 generations plus Legends Arceus of Pokemon. And so I was already I had Pokemon on the brain. I've been playing through Let's Go Pikachu, and then was excited about where that goes. And then Palworld dropped, and I'm like, whoa, let's check it out. And sure enough, it's super fun. It's the crafting is pretty straightforward, and it's fun to do. Didn't feel like a chore. I felt like I played Valheim a lot, and Valheim's crafting to me felt kind of like a chore. It felt like work. Whereas Palworld's right now, at least in the first 20 hours of the game, feels more fun and fluid, and I really enjoyed it. It doesn't seem like you are building something very specific isn't like detrimental to the way you play, which is nice. So really enjoying Palworld. I'd like to get back to it. Like I said, I got about 20 hours into it. Super fun though. Really, really enjoying it, and I'm hoping that I'll see more, features and upgrades and additions, more pals, things like that to the game as they move forward. They had a hell of a launch, so that's pretty sweet to see. The last 2 games I want to talk about that I've been playing a lot of right now is Helldivers 2 and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I think I'll start with Helldivers. Helldivers 2 surprised me a lot. Price point, $40, like fantastic, right? PlayStation 5, Steam, $40, pretty sweet. And I ended up liking it so much that I went ahead and bought the $20 upgrade to the Super Citizen, I think, edition or whatever. I was like, take my money. You guys are doing a good job. Super fun. Played it a little bit solo. It's very hard solo, very hard solo. But now I'm level 10 and I've unlocked my watchdog. I have a little aircraft drone that flies around with me and has a laser, and it helps me. It's almost like having another player. So soloing is going to be getting a little bit easier as long as I keep the difficulty down still. So when I want to do some like easy grinding and just kind of mindless, go shoot some bugs and have fun, I'll be able to do that without too much issue. But where it really shines is the multiplayer, and it's cross-platform, which is fantastic. I've got 2 friends, or multiple friends, but 2 that I play with a lot of that are both on PC. Another friend or 2 that is on PlayStation, plus myself playing on PlayStation. We are having a blast. There is a lot of hilarity that ensues. I'm sure if you've seen other people's videos about Helldivers, it's pretty crazy. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it if you have a decent PC or a PlayStation 5. Get the game, $40, totally worth it, especially if you like cooperative shooters. I really enjoyed The Division 2 when I played it with some friends, and so I was kind of getting that vibe from this, an over-the-shoulder cooperative shooter. I really enjoy it. It's fun, it's funny. I love the visceral feeling of calling down from your ship the different stratagems. And they land with such a thud, and all the explosions are just, you can feel it like in the controller. You can hear it. It just feels and looks amazing. They paid so much detail to the way those things are built and the way those things kind of unfold. Like in some of the scenarios, you launch a nuke and you can like see it off in the distance land and explode, and the whole sky lights up, and then there's this like wind and dust storm that comes at you. They've just done some really incredible things to make that game feel very immersive and very fun. And the whole idea that there's like a game master over the whole thing, making things making things happen. You've got group goals, you've got personal goals, you've got group buffs in the boosters, you've got personal buffs in your ship upgrades. It's really hitting, even though it's not like a looter shooter really, because you're not like getting a bunch of gear and upgrading gear and stuff, but you're getting currency to upgrade both your team's abilities and your personal abilities. And it just has a really good feel. And I feel like you get a decent amount of those currencies to keep things fresh. So every couple missions, you're able to unlock more things. And you're leveling up, and it's a really good feel, and I'm excited for where they're going with the game. The idea of them having mechs and vehicles and more stratagems, more weapons, potentially another race of aliens that we have to contend with. Like, there's a lot of ways they can go with this game, and they've left themselves in a really good spot. And the fact that they're just killing it with the servers are up and running. They raised the caps to 800,000 people. Just overall, very fantastic. They're doing a good job. They're communicating. It's everything you hope to see when a live service game goes live. Now, if they can just keep up with the content and keep the game fresh as they move forward, which so far they've been doing a pretty good job with it. I feel if they can keep that up, something new every couple weeks, and like, it doesn't have to be big, right? It doesn't have to be a huge new patch or anything with more features. It could just be, like what they've been doing recently. They're like, hey, you guys, did this major, whatever it's called. It's like a major group thing. You guys completed that in 24 hours. We're going to give you, 45 medals, and then we're going to immediately go to another thing that has 45 medals, and you've got a few days to finish this. There's just a lot that they can do with the game, so I'm excited where it's going to go. Last but not least, we're going to talk about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I started this on Thursday night, I believe. Yep, when the game released. I started it on Thursday night, February 29th. I just want to keep playing this game. I loved Remake. I love Final Fantasy in general. Like, I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. A lot of like the whole thing back there. I got the Final Fantasy IV Golbez fight up there that I built out of perler beads. That whole top row is all the entire Final Fantasy collection with some statues and steelbooks and a whole bunch of other things that I have that are Final Fantasy related. I got the new steelbook right here. It's freaking rad looking with Zack and Cloud on the front of it. So yeah, it's I can't say enough good things about it so far. I'm only about 9 hours into it at the moment, but I've done almost nothing story-wise. Like, I got through the first chapter, which is all kind of linear story, but then it opens up when you're in Calm and the whole grasslands area around Calm, and I've just been exploring. There is so much to do. Every time I unlock something new to do, I am blown away with like how much there is. And it took me about 3 or 4 hours to get through the first portion of the game, 3 hours probably, and I spent the last 6 hours just exploring the grasslands. It's fantastic. I'm not sure how well that's going to hold up over the course of the entire game. Like, am I going to get tired of doing all the extra stuff? But right now it's super fun because I'm constantly unlocking things, namely like materia and recipes for crafting, which is fantastic. But like, I loved Remake. I love the original. The story has never completely made sense to me, and I'm okay with that. And this one is the same way. Like, I'm already scratching my head on a few things. But overall, I'm pretty excited where they're going, and the amount of content in this game just seems crazy. There's a lot of mini games. The card game is really fun already, and I'm starting to get the hang of it. The exploration is cool. There's tons of things to find, tons of characters to meet. It's just been fantastic. So everything I've played so far has been pretty rad this year, except for Skull and Bones. It's the only thing. It's fun. It's just not worth the price. Oh, and then I've also been playing Suicide Squad a little bit, and I enjoy it. It's fun. I'm playing it with a friend of mine, and I definitely want to finish the story. I'm not sure how much the end game is going to hook me, but I'm definitely going to finish the story. And that game was gifted to me as well. Although I did upgrade, the base game was, and then I upgraded to the full deluxe edition for like 20 or 30 bucks more. So yeah, overall, first 2 months of the year, crazy, absolutely crazy with great games. So definitely, if you're a gamer out there, leave a comment. Let me know what games you're playing out of all these new games that have come out this year. Where has your time been sinking in the most? Where have you been sinking it in the most? Give a like, follow, do all the good stuff, subscribe. I'd like to try to, I just hit 200 subscribers on YouTube, so I'd love to make my next goal, 250. Let's see if we can get 50 more subscribers, and then continue growing the channel. We're always raising money for Extra Life. We have a goal right now. We need to get to $2,000 raised. We need to be one of the first 1,000 people to raise $2,000, and we get this sick Extra Life themed PS5 controller, which is what I got my eye set on. And right now there's only like 36 people who have done it so far, who have raised $2,000 this year. So there is plenty, I don't want to say plenty of time, but there is plenty of slots open for me to get in there in the next few months. So that's the goal. We're trying to get to $2,000. So if you're looking to do any sort of donating, definitely look at the Extra Life funding Children's Hospital. I'm raising money for Children's Hospital Colorado. I have a team called Knights of the Gaming Table. If you're interested, leave a comment, whatever. I would love to get back with you and talk more about it, especially if you're looking for a team to join. We're always looking for more members. So thank you guys so much for being here. We'll see you again in the next video. Hopefully there'll be a new pull video coming out very soon in Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent. And we'll talk soon. Take care.